This is Dan of Vagabond Awake.
This is Qiangs from 𝗕 Adventure.
And we want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday.
Yeah, Happy Holidays. Happy Hanukkah, whatever your thing is. And we want to thank you guys because you've made the last year for us possible, just like the year before that.
Every year. Thank you so much.
Because you watch our videos. And we decided what we'd do is just sort of review what we were able to do.
On this year, on 2022, how we make it this possible. We travel, how we travel, who we met, and the place that we went.
Give you the highlights of some of the people we met and some of the places we went. So we'll start out by just telling you where we were this past year. We'll just cover them first and then we'll come back and talk about highlights. Started the year out in Mexico in the city of Puerto Morelos.
After Mexico, we went to Malaysia, Langkawi Islands, 𝗏𝗏 and 𝐂𝐿.
And then we snuck over to the Philippines. We spent time in Metro Manila, Makati and BGC, Puerto Princesa, El Nido, Coron, back to Metro Manila, Tagaytay, and Angeles City.
And then from Angeles City, we go to Subic Bay, 100 Island, Baguio, and La Union, which is in San Fernando and San Juan. After that, we go to Vegans, my favorite place, and also we back to Metro Manila and we go to Porto Galera.
And then we jumped on an airplane and flew to Scotland for my sister's birthday, and we spent time in Glasgow, Loch Ness, and Inverness.
Yes, and then after Scotland, we flew to Thailand, Bangkok, and then Pattaya Jontins, Koh Samui, and Koh Phangan.
And we ended in Thailand in Hat Yai, is that how you say it?
Oh, Hat Yai, yeah.
Hat Yai.
We crossed border by the land.
Yeah, and Qiangs' family picked us up there and brought us to Malaysia again, where we spent time in Kedah.
Yes.
And then we flew to Borneo, Malaysia with her parents. We spent time in Semporna, and then Sandakan, Kota Kinabalu, and Kuching, where we are now.
Yes, right now we're in Kuching.
Yeah. So that's where we've been. We're here now. We're gonna finish the year in Kuching Sarawak in Borneo. So you're probably wondering, how do these guys travel around the world like this? And so I write these things called Retired Cheap Reports. We have a membership and people learn about different places around the world where they can retire. I have a course called How to Retire Overseas. And we're running a bonus right now through the end of the years where that course is included in the membership. And we're keeping last year's prices for another week or two. So join up before the end of the year if you're curious. And so that's how we travel. That's what pays us enough to travel. We're not getting rich, but money isn't our thing. We just like to enjoy the world. Next up, we thought we'd share some highlights with you over the last year, some of our favorite places and the people we've met along the way.
That's very interesting. Because that's amazing that we flew to a lot of country. Even we've been to that country, I think it still surprised me a lot.
Keep your eyes open in life. There's stuff all around you that will surprise you, even if you've been there before.
Yeah.
So we started the year out in what was one of our highest rated cities, Puerto Morelos, Mexico. And we were in a cute little village there. That's the village. It's behind the beach, about 2 kilometers. And we really enjoyed ourselves as usual in that area.
Yeah, and also my friend came to visit me in Puerto Morelos.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the first time her to be going around in this town, and we went to Toulouse, you know. Everything is so nice, and we found a very nice apartment over there for our Christmas and our New Year. Good prices.
Yes, which is hard to do unless you book early.
Yeah.
It's becoming very popular, which one of the people that we've met over the years going there, her name's Anne, and we have another friend, Liz, and we have places that you can contact, see if they're available. It's tougher in high season, but we have some great rates and stuff. But we have these retired cheap reports I talked about, and they're in those reports, the contact information.
Yeah, so after that, we went to Malaysia in February.
Yeah.
Yes. So first we arrived in Langkawi Island, which is we're back to Asia after 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's good that we have amazing food because, you know, when you're back to Asia, the food is only $1, $2. So I can get back my Asian food, even sushi, you know, it's so easy to have it in Malaysia.
Yeah, it's very healthy too, Asian food. And then eventually we got to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, where we stayed in a $13 per night condo. It's in Ampang, one of our favorite places, our old stomping ground. In fact, it's where Chang and I met in Ampang.
There's a studio apartment, but $13 a night. You have sauna, you have a gym, you have a swimming pool. My goodness, that's an amazing place. But that condo is an amazing place.
Yeah, and right across the road is Ampang, the shopping center where there's a Korean food place we love, which is in our retired trip report for KL.
Yeah.
And then there's also a Chinese grocery store we love shopping at that has food from all over the world. And then there's Changkat, the nightlife in KL, which we enjoyed while we were there. This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. We have hundreds of reports of the best places to retire cheap in paradise. You can click any one of these countries and you'll see many reports in each country. And then we have all these planning reports that teaches you how to plan overseas retirement. I got an email from one of my subscribers that said, there's so many ebooks, I don't know which one to read first. So I put together a course for you here, the Retire Overseas course. Come on over and play this syllabus for the course. You'll learn what the course is about. Get our free ebook here. And so you're on our email list, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World for 14 plus years. Just come over here, put it in your email. I'll give you a warning when we're going to raise our prices.
Yeah, everything is the same when I'm back to Malaysia.
That's where Chang was for a decade.
Because when I'm back to Malaysia, I can have Malay food, Indian food, Chinese food, Thai food, Korean food with a very affordable price. Want to know how we got this kind of food and in this affordable price? Go to check vagabondbuddha.com.
That's where the reports are.
Yeah. So the next, after the KL, we go to Philippines.
Philippines, yeah.
That is amazing place for me. One thing is we've been to Philippines a couple of times and we stay a long time, but this time we visit Luzon area. That Luzon area, it blew my mind.
Yeah, it was a mind blower.
Yes.
Yeah, I went to Luzon once for a few days just as a transfer, but I didn't realize how many places there are you could live and things to see and do there. 𝗏𝐾𝐿𝐷, BGC?
Yeah. Thing that surprised me in Metro Manila, which is 𝗏𝐾𝐿𝐷 and BGC, which is beautiful skyline on our top of the 𝗏𝐾𝐿𝐷 building. That is amazing. And we went to BGC on a Sunday. They blocked some of the streets, so you can bring your dog or your pet or your cat to walk on that area. Even we make a video of that, and no one believed that is a Philippines.
Yeah, BGC is like a modern city, unrivaled really in the world because it's all new and beautiful, and it's really surprising that the Philippines is so advanced in this way.
Yeah, even 𝗏𝐾𝐿𝐷 also, we love that a lot with markets, Saturday market and Sunday market for the food. Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Then after that, we went to El Nido and Coron. We go to the Tao boat. That boat, oh God.
Yeah, amazing experience.
It's the best, amazing experience in my life about Philippines. I highly recommend that.
It's crazy. So in El Nido, there's a beach called Nakpom Beach. And we started in El Nido. We spent time in Nakpom Beach, gorgeous place. We had met this fellow, Marion, who'd been there. He'd been going to El Nido since 1988, and he shared his story, like what El Nido was like a long time ago. And we really had a good time. And like Chang said, we wanted to go to Coron next, but we didn't want to fly. We didn't want to just take a ferry. We heard about this thing called the Tao Experience, which was bar none the best package experience I've ever had in my life. We don't normally do packages, but we met some people that had went and they said, you'll never regret this. And it was $80 a day per person, and included food, accommodation, snorkeling, and the most amazing fish and white sand beaches you'll ever see in your life.
And you learn a lot from the Filipino culture as well. Amazing.
Such nice people, such a great organization.
Why we will talk a lot about Philippines, because we was in Philippines for 6 months, so a lot of play we cover about that.
And while we were and once we got to Coron, we met this German named Jojo who has a beer brewery there, and he's been there for 28 years. And, and by the way, all of these people we meet are in my guest star videos, and you can, when you're interested in retiring overseas, you can come over to Vagabond Awake, my YouTube channel, and click on the playlist tab and watch all these people from all over the world that have retired outside their home country. And when you're watching Coron, it's Jojo you'll meet.
And don't forget to go to his bar.
They brew beer that is delicious, European style.
Yeah, and also we go to Porto Galera. Oh, this island is near to the Manila, so it's very easy for you to travel. About like 3 hours, you will reach to Porto Galera.
Yeah.
And the underwater world, phew, amazing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, Porto Galera. While we were in Luzon, we also went to 𝗙𝗓𝗡, which is like a mountain. If you like cooler weather, it's sort of like a mountain place, not too far from Metro Makati, maybe an hour
Yeah.
and 20 minutes. And it's beautiful view of the lake there. And they have these big pots that you sit in. They basically cook you, like, you know, they're not headhunters or anything, but it's amazing because there's a fire under you and you're in this big iron pot and you have this amazing view.
Another town, another city that I like in Philippines is Baguio. That is incredible because the Southeast Asia, it's not that easy you find a cool weather place.
Yeah, it's up in the mountains.
It's up the mountain and it's a city.
Yeah.
I have a very good food in Baguio. I also have a very good food for the vegetarians.
Yeah.
And the place surrounding, and they have a dive bar, like a local Filipino bar, and you can go there for a very good price of the drink. Wow, amazing.
Yeah, and there's universities there, and they have these night markets where you can eat food.
Yes.
And there's live music. It's a very dynamic city up in the mountains, and it's cool. Imagine that in Southeast Asia. So Baguio was definitely one of our favorite places. We went to Angeles City, which you've probably heard of. It's it's sort of the famous walking street place, and we interviewed 3 different sets of expats that were there. One of them, JR, who lives in a gated community, who bought a home and lives there for relatively inexpensively. We also met Luis, who moved there, and he said he's never felt more freedom in his life. It's like it was 60 years ago in the U.S. And we met George and Heidi, who are living on, I think they said $900 a month in the Philippines. And so great interviews with people in Angeles City.
We met the older tattoo lady in the Philippines.
Oh,
Or maybe
yeah.
I say
Oh,
in
yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
𝗵𝗄.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the village over there, which is called Buskalan village in
Yeah.
Kalinga. The village is very peaceful.
Very peaceful.
I love that. I enjoying the peaceful over there. But the ride to go there,
Yeah.
but at least I done it. So
Yeah, and when
About the
you're
distance.
there, it's just a really tiny little village, and they grow all their own rice.
Yes.
And so there's these terraced rice fields you can walk around in, and it's so beautiful up there, isn't it? And peaceful.
yeah.
And the other place I really enjoyed, we went to is 𝗂𝐵𝐵, and we met this fellow named Ray, who runs the American Legion there, and he was very funny.
It's very funny.
Yeah, he's one of our guest stars on our
He's
guest
the
star
best.
Playlist. One of the best, very entertaining. And
How we met him, you know? We met him. It's one of the night we go for a dive bar. So we were sitting over there and he say hi to us. We say hi and then we tried it out. And
Yeah.
wow, that's
Yeah.
how we met people.
And they kept playing songs for him, and he kept singing. And at first we were a little bit like, he's so social and so out there. We were a little bit like, who is this guy? What is that? But we got to be great friends with him, and we really had a good
Yes.
time. So it was a fun experience. And 𝗂𝐵𝐵 turned out to be a place we really enjoyed.
Yes, it's very
it's-
clean city there.
It's where the Navy used to be, and the Navy's starting to re-engage in that area. We were surprised about the diversity of the homes in that part of
Oh,
the
I love
Philippines.
the building over there.
Yeah.
They have a different kind of the design. It's
Yeah.
not very It's very interesting that
Very
you can
interesting
see.
place. Yeah.
Yes.
Did we talk about La Union yet?
Oh, not yet.
La Union, we went there because we heard a couple things about it. It's just a nice place to go. But we found a nice beach community in La Union, which is sort of like it's the province area, and it's called San Juan, and it's a surfing community, and it's fun because there's like a nightlife there and sort of a surfing feel to it, sort of a hippie feel to it, and we interviewed this fellow, what was his name, Jay, who lives there, and really loves living there. And so he's a guest star on our channel. I had a good time chatting with him. He talked about his cost of living, which was really reasonable in that area. All right, good. So this video is going to be in 2 parts. Part 2 will be on Qiangs Channel, and we'll continue to tell you about the highlights that you've given us here in 2022.
So come to my channel.
It's up there. Click, clickety, clickety.